Hello and welcome to episode 148 of This Gives Me Podcast. My name is Dean.
My name is Brett.
Will.
So we have Will here today for Sam. Hopefully, more. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll Will's a busy guy running Overdue Sports, and also he's a remote worker, so he goes into the office sometimes, and he's sometimes not in the office. And big debate on where you can be more productive, but we'll keep that for a different episode of the podcast. I'm in a suit right now. I'm not a remote worker, so just had a nice little 14-hour day, but I'm here wearing a Red Sox hat. They just got beat by the Rays, just falling further and further below 500. Absolutely killer. However, I think this is what we'll start with because it's the number one news. Shohei Ohtani, as I am jumping class to class before, is just hitting home run after home run and stolen base after stolen base. He's now the first player to ever be hit the 50-50 mark. And what did he end with? 51-51?
Think so.
Or 51-52, something like that?
Yeah. I don't even know. He was just kept putting them up. It was hard to keep up the agenda with how many he was hitting tonight, but I'll pull it up. It was
so much fun. Will, as an impression whore like me, what were you? Please tell me you were replying to some tweets.
I was all over it. I actually got a lot of angry responses from Yankees fans. Who else would it be? Very upset that
because of the fake Babe Ruth.
Yeah, because Babe Ruth was better than Shohei Ohtani, and they're arguing that I actually got a comment today that Shohei Ohtani is a below average pitcher. So I just didn't respond to that because that I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know how you would.
He is the best pitcher
of the year.
He's just statistically not a below average pitcher.
No, he's not. He's a statistically well above average pitcher, and we are live watching probably the best baseball player I will ever watch in my life, and that's crazy to grasp in my head. I can't really conceptualize that, but I probably will never see a player better than him in my lifetime.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. I think the problem is this idea, like when you say the best player of ever, right? You're saying best player ever, correct?
Correct.
You have these people out there who just are straight out statistic minded, like record minded people, and they refuse to acknowledge anyone who, for Ohtani, has only played like 5 years, right? But what I always think about is like Sandy Koufax, right? Sandy Koufax had a short career. You could argue he's the greatest pitcher of all time. Okay, just because he doesn't have the statistics doesn't mean he wasn't the greatest pitcher, like greatest stuff ever. Whatever. I guess you could debate that, but the example I'm giving is Ohtani doesn't have to play 15 years to go down as the greatest player ever. I think I would argue, and I almost tweeted this, I think Ohtani is like the one player, maybe outside of Mike Trout, that there's a few other like older guys, but someone his age, the only 30-year-old that if he retired right now, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. Him and Mookie Betts.
He'd be first ballot.
Yeah. Just because how much he transcends the game. But yeah, I mean, there was there was a little Francisco Lindor in me, right? There was a little. I was rooting for Francisco Lindor the last month to steal the MVP, but I mean, it's just impossible at this point. Brett,
I'm thinking about your Hall of Fame right now. He's never played a playoff game. Like I know Ohtani's the best player like that we've seen. Like I'm not debating that. I'm just like, how stingy they've been about voting. By the way, 3.01 ERA career for Ohtani. Whoever said he's a below average pitcher, they could shove it.
Yeah, but you just look at ERA plus. I think he's a career like 130 ERA plus guy, and that's just you just take the average. 100 is above average.
In a season from now, we're realistically looking like, and I'm talking like an okay Shohei Ohtani season. Guy's gonna have career 1,000 hits, over 250 bombs, and probably well over 600 RBIs. I don't see the stolen bases right now. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page, but yeah, he's literally mind blowing to watch. I don't have words to describe how good he is at baseball. It just I'm something that we get to watch and enjoy day after day after day while this guy's on the field.
Just real quick, and then I'm gonna pass to Will. We have a StatHead subscription, and you're using Wikipedia for stats.
I pulled it up real quick just to see his accolades for MVPs and such, because of the Hall of Fame case. I wasn't using StatHead for that. My bad. Okay. Even though it's probably all on there. It's just habit.
Well, StatHead's baseball reference. Will, any closing thoughts?
I mean, I just think, I mentioned it before, he could retire today. He'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to play. Brett mentioned he's never played a playoff game. He's probably going to play in the playoffs the next 10 years. So we've got all that to look forward to before his voting even gets thought about happening. So you won't have to worry about that, Brett.
No, I know. I'm excited. Very excited.
All right. Some playoff talk. There's been a few teams now that have clinched playoff spots. The Milwaukee Brewers clinched last night. Will, I know you're kind of like a Milwaukee. You're not like a Milwaukee. I mean, you are a Milwaukee fan, right?
I follow
Dodgers
them
fan,
a ton just because I'm here. But
yeah,
they've grown on me over the years. I'll put it that
you're
way.
A fan by proxy, I guess.
Yeah, they've grown on me. The young talent has made me convert. I love the guys like Sal Frelick, Bryce Terang, Garrett Mitchell. Those guys just fire me up. Obviously, Jackson Chourio this season. Pat Murphy should win Manager of the Year this year, without doubt.
He should. The fact that
absolutely
the fact that they're going to be a 90-win team when in the offseason, I think me and Brett both said this. It's like, are they selling? Are they retooling? Like, what do they do? What do they do? Like, what's their plan? I just thought it was hilarious that they had Jackson Chourio. They had like non-alcoholic beer for him and like a cart by his locker. I was like cracking up at that. I don't know. I really need to now look at what the playoff picture is going to look like in terms of like matchups. I don't know where they go. Philly's better than them. Dodgers are better than them. But I would put them up against pretty much anyone else.
The Padres scare me. I think the Padres rotation in a wild card series, that's been like my one. Yeah. That's been the one team for me. It's whoever faces the Padres in that 3-game or that 5-game set. You got King, Cease, and Darvish against presumably Freddie, Colin Ray, and Tobias Myers. I don't think it's going to happen. But it's been a crazy successful year, even without Yelich, too, who was kind of on MVP track for a good portion of the season.
He was on MVP. He was on MVP track for. I had him as, I don't know if I had him as MVP, but I had him winning the Silver Slugger for sure in my midseason predictions. And his back, that sucks because that was like it was old Yelich back. Yeah, Darvish coming back from his situation and pitching great. That's a really good point. I just last episode was saying maybe the Padres can kind of sneak in and win the division. There's no way that happens. Who else? Yankees, Brett, your team. They clinch. They're going to the playoffs. No surprise there. They go from 82 wins last year. They should be around a little over 90 this year. Dodgers, 91 wins. We're not going to have any 100-win teams, nope. It looks like.
Well, the Yankees...
That's parity, baby.
The Dodgers... Yeah, that is parity. But the Dodgers would definitely be 100 if they didn't lose every pitcher and their arms this season. And then the Yankees, if they simply didn't have Clay Holmes, what has he got? 13 blown saves? Take about half of those, and the Yankees are very close to knocking on the door of 100.
Okay, well, they're not. So
I'm just saying.
First time since
I had to give Clay Holmes. I had to give Clay Holmes some shit.
First season since 2014 that there's not been a 100-win team.
Nuts. That's crazy. I love that, though.
Oh, me too. It's fantastic for baseball.
So, Dodgers, Brewers, Guardians clinched today. A little great graphic from Will. I would actually say the Guardians are even bigger surprise than the Brewers clinching, especially this early, and the Yankees, as I just mentioned. So, Brett, you wanted to do a little positional group, or I wouldn't say it's positional, draft, where we are each going to draft a rotation, a lineup, a bullpen, and a manager from these playoff teams. Presumably, you're going to write this down, and we're going to look at it at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So, essentially, the name of the game is one of us will start off, and I'll let, since Will's, joining us tonight, we'll let him get first pick. Will, you will take whether it's like the Yankees rotation or the Philadelphia bullpen. We're going to do that between the lineup, bullpen, rotation, and even choose a manager, because I think managers play a big part here in the playoffs, making key decisions. So the Pat Murphys of the world, we got to give them some kudos. The clock is to you. We'll give you a couple seconds to take a quick look and select what team you'd like to choose.
In a row on the next round. I think I've got my ducks in a row here. I got to go Dodgers lineup. I think there's just no other question. The guys are healthy. You got Shohei, just broke the 50-50. You got Mookie healthy. Freddie's healthy. Will Smith is starting to see the ball a little bit better the last couple of weeks. I think this is just a slam dunk pick for me. I think it's the best lineup in baseball. So
Totally not a homer pick, but okay.
and a little bit of that. I mean, you're gonna give me the 1-1.
Brett, why don't you go? You
Oh,
go next.
I was gonna give you next pick.
No, you can go because I'm just typing. I'm typing this out in the notes too.
I was typing as well. So I will go ahead, and I think pitching wins in the playoffs. I'm going to take the Philadelphia rotation to start it off. I think that between Nola and Wheeler, and hopefully if Ranger Suarez kicks it in back in the third gear, we could have a really nice 1-2-3 to start us off, and that's not including guys that they made moves for at the deadline. I also like Sanchez, even though he's had a down second half, and same with Ranger Suarez, but you need pitching in the playoffs, and Philly's just the rotation that sticks out to me to take. So I'll go with them.
I'm going to go Phillies lineup because I think it's the most outside of the Dodgers. I think it's the most complete lineup. You have the Yankees, right? If you look at run differentials too, Yankees lead the Phillies by a few, but I look at the Yankees and I just see Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. I look at the Phillies and you see just a complete lineup with, I would say, the most clutch hitter right now, like the most proven clutch playoff hitter. Like who? I mean, I guess you have Betts and Freeman, right? With
after
Will on
last
the
year, I don't know
Dodgers.
if we can call that.
Yeah. So yeah, sure. Then throw them to the side. I'm looking at these other teams. Who's the most like experienced playoff bat? Who's like clutch? I would say Bryce Harper. So I'm gonna go Phillies lineup. Phillies lineup, and I have a wraparound.
You.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Murphy. I'll go manager.
That's a great
manager in the second,
because you already picked a rotation, so it's like you're not gonna pick a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get the best man. I would say he's whatever we're saying. We just said we think he's the best manager.
I do.
So I'll get the best manager then.
Yeah. I guess it's back to me. I will take. That's a tough one. I'm trying to think of a lineup I want to take, but I think I'm going to go with a bullpen here. I will go with the Houston Astros bullpen. I think I got Josh Hader, Brian Abreu, Ryan Presley, and Hector Neris all to lock it down, as well as Caleb Ort has been really, really solid. So I'm going to go with Houston's bullpen. Will, back to you.
Will.
You got 2 picks.
I'm going to go with the Padres rotation. I just mentioned how scary that 1-2-3 punch is. And you've got Joe Musgrove in the fold, who's actually been really solid in the second half. I think this is a great playoff rotation. And I'm going to take Stephen Vogt as my manager, who, in my opinion, is probably second in the manager of the year race. He's been fantastic for Cleveland this year. He's done great things in his first year. A really good replacement, new philosophy on offense, new philosophy with the pitching staff. I think I'm nailing it right now.
I do like that pick. Both those picks actually are great, but
I got a good pick that I'm hoping Brett doesn't take.
Well, the thing is, Tyler needs a bullpen. I already took one, and you need a rotation, and I already took one. So I don't know who else I would take for you, but lineup wise, this is a toss up. I really like the 2 NL West teams between the Padres and Diamondbacks, and obviously the Yanks. But I think I gotta go with the hot bats. I think I gotta go with Tatis and the crew, Jackson Merrill and Machado. I think the Yankees, they have promise, and I hope every day that Jason Dominguez becomes the next, god of baseball here. But I'm gonna go with the San Diego Padres lineup. I'm going into October.
On to me.
Yeah.
So who do you want in the 9th inning of Game 7 of the World Series?
If you didn't know where he's going with
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I figured.
So I'm gonna go Cleveland Guardians for bullpen for that reason, because I want the best closer in baseball pitching for me in that last game. Rotation is tough because I think I mean Padres are obviously the best. There's like a part of me that wants to go to the Dodgers, but I just can't do it. They're just so
Don't do it.
they're so beat to shit. So I'm gonna actually go. I think this is a decent pick. I'm gonna say what I was thinking about going to Tigers with Scooball, okay, but I'm going to go with the Kansas City Royals because I love the 1-2 punch of Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo. So I don't really feel confident about anyone else in the Tigers rotation, and especially in like a 7-game series. But with the Royals, at least I know I'm rolling out two guys there that are studs. So I'm gonna go Royals.
You get 4 solid arms there. Singer and Waka have been really solid, and you get Alec Marsh, who's been great.
I love Brady Singer. Brett has known I've talked about Brady Singer for years. I absolutely love that he's kind of had like he's regressed a little in the second half.
It's been a really good bounce back.
He's still having a great year. But just like again, if it's like a 5-game series and you need 2 arms out there to get 3 wins, I'm comfortable with Reagans and Lugo over anyone else right now. Brett, your team kind of sucks.
Oh my God. If you're not watching right now, I'm taking this from the Harry Potter looking kid right now as well. You know what? As of today, the Tigers are in. I'm taking AJ Hinch to manage my ball club.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm trying to make my team a little bit better here, but yeah, I kind of hate my team. I'm not a good drafter, Will, in any sport. I suck at drafting. I know it. I know about sports. I just can't draft. I don't know what it is.
Do you? I feel like those would correlate.
Oh my goodness, that does not necessarily correlate.
I mean,
if I can't have Emmanuel Clase, I'm going to take Devin Williams. Give me the Brewers bullpen. The pitching lab has been unreal in Milwaukee. Those guys just pump it out. I'm shortening the game. I'm lengthening the game with my rotation. I'm slugging with the game. It's not looking good for you guys.
If you get Brian Hudson back, I know he was like losing velocity and they wanted to send him down to AAA to kind of fix that. If they get him, and then who's the big prospect? Is it Scott Mizorowski? Is that his last name?
Yeah, he's more of a starting pitcher.
Jacob
Mizorowski.
He profiles more as a starter. I heard rumors they might call him up for a little dip because he's such a flamethrower, just to throw a few like relief innings in the playoffs if needed. We'll see. But that could be a sneaky addition for you in the Brew Crew. So we'll look at this after the playoffs.
How'd you guys let me get the Guardians bullpen, by the way?
That was a good. I just
like that's the best bullpen in baseball right now.
It is.
I went hard on the name with Hader, and then I knew Abreu, and I liked having Presley and all them veterans who are playoff guys who've been there.
You didn't take the Astros lineup. You took the Padres lineup over the Astros lineup.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going Astros the entire time because he's like, I want the more complete lineup, and then he goes Padres, and I'm like,
Padres are hot right now.
Manny Machado hit 2 home runs yesterday. Brett, his OPS is over 800. Sam tweeted it out, but like I want Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker's now healthy again. Jose Altuve, like you're talking about, you want playoff playoff experienced players. You're talking about the rotation.
You could have taken the Orioles lineup. The Orioles lineup, I think, is better than the Padres.
Yeah. I didn't even realize the Orioles were still on the board, honestly.
Brett didn't realize that by creating this, he just opened the door to him getting just shellacked.
Well, do we want to talk about the Altuve ejection before we jump into the injuries?
I kind of want to just keep critiquing your team. I mean, I guess AJ Hinch is
pretty solid
fine.
Like, that's probably the best.
That's your best pick.
I think I got a solid bullpen, a solid hot lineup, and
you did get a good rotation.
Phillies rotation.
You got a good rotation.
My pitching is pretty like shut down, start to bottom.
Noah got beat up the other day.
Yeah, but you can have the Phillies rotation in the first or the Royals rotation in the fourth.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
All right, moving on. We talked about this last episode, but Will, do you? Yeah, I'm just used to Sam being on here. Do you see any world where Ohtani's pitching in the offseason? Or, I mean, do you even want that?
I think I would lose so much respect for Dodgers management, upper management, and Dave Roberts if they allowed that to happen. You just paid this man the largest contract we've ever seen, and you would risk rushing him in a year where I don't think they're complete enough to win a World Series. So why bother and put him in the highest adrenaline, highest leverage spot that you can find all season when he hasn't really thrown in a game scenario yet? I think it would be reckless, and I think it would be really bad for baseball if they did. I pray that it's more of a publicity stunt than anything, just because people are going to ask because he's been throwing off the mound. But there's no point. I don't think this is the year. You let him take the entire offseason, give him the extended rest, and let him bounce back for 2025.
Okay, that seems like the same. I just feel like it's a big, like, not headline grabber. What do I clickbait? I feel like they're doing it almost as clickbait.
That's what I thought too.
Like, it's like, all right, we know you're not actually doing this. Like, shut the fuck up. Okay. Next up, we kind of already talked about this, but Ohtani going 51 and 51. Only other players to ever go. I guess this is the closest to 50-50, Brett.
I'm sorry. It is. He's 51 and 51 now. So
yeah. So you listed the players that were closest to it.
Oh well, that's the 40-40 club. The only 6 guys in it.
Yeah. So Acuna, Alfonso Soriano, A-Rod, Barry Bonds, and Jose Canseco. You can argue there's 4 cheaters in there. Okay. Talking about hobbits, Jose Altuve took his shoe off and his sock off the other day during an injection. I'll get the photo up for people. Brett, thoughts, and then pass it along to Will.
I don't know how it transitioned to hobbits, but yeah, this is a wild one. I don't really know what to make of it. Obviously, Altuve's in a heated mode because the next day later on, he was talking about management making sure that they signed Bregman back. So it seems like Altuve's in playoff mode. I just think he's torqued up for the playoffs. He's not a guy that usually gets thrown out of games. So, Will, did you watch this live or at least catch the highlights on this one?
I saw the highlight of it, and you said it well. Like, he's not a guy that normally gets thrown out. It very clearly went off of his foot. Like, he was right. Altuve was 100% right, but this meltdown is just so funny to me. I think stuff like this, when guys get ejected and really get their money's worth like this, yeah, I think it's amazing. It's one of my favorite things that happens in baseball, and blatantly the wrong call. Altuve was right.
I think Jose Altuve shaves his feet.
I think it's the socks.
No, he just wears socks, dude.
I don't know. I'm tweeting this out. We'll see what the people think.
I don't think he shaves his feet.
I think he might. Okay. MLB injuries. Brett.
Yes, I'll rip through this very quick. Kodai Senga. He is focused on returning in the regular season. We'll see if that happens. Mets might not be in the playoff hunt in a few days, so I don't know what to say about this. I think if he rushes back for nothing, that's a mistake. And if he rushes back and is able to pitch and the Mets make the playoffs, different story. But depending how much risk he can have doing that, I think that is, I would advise against it, but I'm not a doctor. So Mets, though, have another big injury. Christian Scott, very highly ranked prospect for them in their system. He's to undergo elbow surgery, and he's doing both replacing his ulnar collateral ligament, so the Tommy John ligament, and he's installing an internal brace, according to his agent, Nate Heisler. Just baseball.
I don't know if that's like a big injury.
Christian Scott is looked upon to be a very solid prospect and a long-term starter for the Mets here. So Met fans who are into it, ask your dad. I guarantee he is not happy about Christian Scott going to be out for 2 years. Not good. Gavin Stone, he had a great season for the Dodgers. He is unlikely to pitch again this year. He was having a shoulder issue, but it looks like the Dodgers are just going to shut him down. Lance Lynn,
pass that along to Will. Will's a Dodgers fan. Pass it along to Will.
Sorry. Yes. Will, thoughts on Stone?
He had a great first half.
The greatest first half of all time.
He was
biggest snub. Biggest all-star snub I've ever seen.
Dean wrote about it multiple times. He was brutal in the second half, though. I mean, everything was hit hard. He was missing in the middle of the zone. I'm okay with this. This year, as a Dodgers fan, it really feels like a punt year. Like, Buehler's starting to get into form, but he's still not quite there, which is to be expected after missing a couple years. You send down Bobby Miller. He just hasn't been able to figure it out. You got all the injuries to May and Gonsolin and basically the whole staff, Kershaw again. It just seems like a punt year. There's no reason to rush anybody back. See if you can slug your way to a ring, and if not, get it in 25.
I like that take. Last two guys here who are bigger names to hit the IL. Lance Lynn, he's hitting the 15-day IL with knee inflammation. It's no bueno. And then Brandon Williamson for the Reds. He's to undergo Tommy John surgery. He only pitched 14 1/3 innings this year, but he had a 3.77 ERA during that time. Looked like he could be maybe a back-end starter for them, maybe a long inning reliever for the Reds. Obviously, he's not going to be in their plans for the next 2 years. So I'll pass it along to Will here to go through the rest of the news and notes here.
Making more history. As Brett said last episode, he is not the co-MVP in Brett's rankings. He would be third. He becomes the first shortstop with 2 30-30 seasons. Lindor technically can still accomplish this, but I don't think he will. But that's just me. He could. Juan Soto has officially homered in all 30 ballparks. He is the 7th youngest player to do so at 25. We got Craig Kimbrell DFA'd by the Orioles. I mentioned in our group chat the other day that I thought he would get picked up. Dean did not appreciate that at all. He was actually very, very good in the first half of the season.
It's not that I didn't appreciate it. I just didn't think that who's going to take a risk right now to put him on a playoff roster when he's not playing well.
It is true, but he's an established arm. He's been there before. Put him in the right bullpen. Maybe he figures it out. I think it's worth a shot. I mean, he's just out there. I really think he'll be worth a playoff roster spot. He's allowed 31 runs this year. 23 of them have been in the last 2 months. He's been horrendous. The worst stretch of his entire career. The MLB decided they will not suspend Alex Cora, obviously.
Yeah, we brushed that upon that. That was a stupid thing that the MLB was investigating, but very dumb.
Made no sense.
Yeah,
I just tweeted out Jose Altuve's foot, so just please go comment if you think he shaves it or not. Brett, you got any balls for us?
I got a card. I know you're gonna hate it because it's Fleer, but I didn't have his autograph. Reggie Jackson, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for like something like that. Like I think I told you what, $45.
I ended up negotiating down to 40. Not a huge difference, but
I was gonna say that's he should, for all the business you bring him during the day, which was weird because I thought you'd take calls all day at work, but
oh my gosh,
during the day. You want me to pull up the timestamp of when you went to the store yesterday?
That's not relevant.
I'm just saying. Mike Trout, auto to 15, SGC 9. Brett, you know why I have this. Will, you might. It's going with the Shohei Ohtani out of 15 from the same set. And I'm collecting the out of 15. So like I don't rip as many boxes. I do the breaks with the store, and I work for the store now, and I kind of take that as my card money. I'm trying to be responsible. I'm trying to pay for a wedding here. Will, you know what it's like. And I don't know if I could justify going and buying out of 15 autos from Chrome Platinum, which is easily the set of the year, by the way. And so now, I just work at a card store, and I put that money towards more out of 15. Like I got the like a Barry Zito, right? Is this the Barry Zito? Yeah, Barry Zito out of 15.
Is that auto?
Yeah, it's auto. I'm gonna slap the Vladdy Jr. I've got the Brian Bayo. So just building a little pink empire here. I wish it wasn't pink, but 2024, it's okay.
Yeah. Well,
Will, any new balls or cards?
I do. I've got 2. This one is a little bit older. Got it a couple weeks ago. Bobby Miller auto, 12 of 149. Nice. One of my.
How much is that worth?
Oh, right now, probably nothing. Right now, I only got it. I got it for $8 before all this happened. So pretty good deal on my end. Okay. So I'll take it for what it is. And then I got this bad boy, Will Smith, out of 150. I'm a big fan. If you're gonna get a catcher auto, he's got to be in the gear. I just think it's a much better picture. 47 of 150, got it for $20. Got a great deal on it.
Love that. It's a great deal.
That is sick. All right, so we're at the 30-minute mark. Pretty proud of this episode. I thought it was a little interesting conversation. We will be on again on Sunday night. Maybe Will be there. If you want to hear more from Will, you can follow Overdue Sports on Twitter. You can also, what's the name of the podcast again?
It's called Welcome to the Show. Sam and I host it.
Welcome to the show. Okay. And that's Backyard Ground Ball or something?
Backside Ground Balls Media. Go check it out. Me and Sam
Backside
tweet
Ground
about
Ball.
it pretty often, so you'll see it on one of our feeds eventually.
Yeah, and if you go to any of Will's blogs and you scroll to the bottom, it should be there, I believe. So, are you guys? What is that, weekly or what's
Weekly,
the plan?
every Wednesday.
Okay, very cool. Will, anything else? Yeah, must be nice. Brett,
No, go Yanks.
go Sox. Go Sox. All right, bye.
Good episode.
Yeah, the fucking Red Sox suck.
You had to bring up the remote thing at the end there. Just any evidence at all about not being at work for fucking 30 minutes. You had to do it.
Oh my god.
I know no one's listening. It's just like paranoia, dude. Why do that? We had a good thing going for 5 years, Will, of being remote. And watch, someone's going to hear this and they're like, Brett's not taking it seriously. Ugh. All right. Well, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
A ball nowhere. And I don't know. I don't have anything specifically planned yet, but I'll probably try to get too early in the week because I'll be MIA the back half of the week. So I'll give you. Yeah, I have off Friday, and then I have off Monday, Tuesday because my wedding's on Sunday, and so Tuesday I'll have off, and it's the first day of playoff baseball, so I'll be doing that the entire day, and that's it. December because she's a teacher, so no time off until winter break. Yeah. Is in Hawaii. Very excited. Cannot wait. Actually, a close friend of ours is a wedding photographer, so we got like friends and family discount, and we did the wedding on a Sunday, so like discount. You couldn't even swing it. That's a crazy number. That's huge. How many? Wait, like in general, is it like a big? And I did that too, but I have 5 or I have 6. That it's so big at this point that the entire Skip Review team just gets an invite by default because what's one more? I'll just show up. Dude, I'm trying to swing that. I think it's gonna fall in a day where I'm not doing anything, as long as I'm not in Chicago for work, and as long as I'm not in Michigan punishing my body in a marathon or half marathon. That I don't run, so it's, you know. But yeah.